Come on. There we go. Hold it. All right. All right. There we go. I am here. I I live. Oh, hold on. Uh, bu- 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 Welcome, desk. Welcome, Seth. Hold on. I need to announce the rest of everyone. Hold on. And here, where is it? Go. All right. So, how's everyone doing? Well, as we're waiting for, you know, everyone to filter in. How's it been going? It's been a while. It has been a while. That's my fault. Or actually, no, it's Desk's fault. Everything is Desk's fault. I keep forgetting that, which is also Desk's fault. Also, welcome Spartan. Bored because PlayStation Network is down. Oh, fair. Well, hopefully I can alleviate your boredom just a little bit. uh, Maybe we even get to some reading. I have no idea. I actually just been editing for like the last half an hour or so, so I'm not even a third of the way through it yet. But that's my plan from now on is to just spend Saturday mornings editing stuff, Saturday afternoons streaming stuff, and the Saturday late afternoons being out of town. And I am pensive. May they rest in peace as they keep getting sacrificed. All right, y'all can hear me, right? It says that it's saying that you could hear me. Oh, and you answered my question. So yes, you can hear me. But yeah, so glad to have y'all aboard. Come on, go over there now. But yeah, it's been an interesting week at work. Actually, fairly easy, all things considered. We've been very bored because you haven't been streaming. Yeah, the various idols sitting at the table looking at the Lone Queen sitting with them. I thought this was an idol meetup. Oh man. Oh, there's so many idols. There's so many idols, so little time. Yeah, I actually was thinking the new Precure series just started. Nice. I haven't seen the original. You an idol Precure? That's hilarious. Yes, the jokes in fact do write themselves. But yeah, I've actually been thinking because I of like Rock Idol, like let's give a throwback to Rock Idol for just a quick sec, because like gosh, so I've been listening to a lot of songs while I'm at work because it's at work and I've already listened to all the videos I want to listen to and I'm not interested in any podcasts right now. So I was listening to a bunch of songs and the instrument transitions for World's Smallest Violin by AJR. I'm like, that would be perfect for a changeling to do. I was thinking it might not be Idle that does the instrument transitions. It's actually Cersus because Idle would be like, no, it has to be the instruments because that's only proper, and he wouldn't want to bring attention to himself. Whereas Cersus, you know, probably would do something like that. Also, welcome, Pensive. Welcome. But yes, it's been a interesting week. I'm somewhat more getting used to working 50-hour weeks. I think this week was just a little bit under 50 hours. I think it was like 49.57 or something like that. So just at the end. It's sad that I don't make hourly, or else I'd be making bank. But oh, welcome, Farfella. Each idol queen ascended due to random accidents. You know what? I can definitely see that, but you know, he can only fail upward. Um, so if he ever doesn't want to take the crown, he has to be paid royalties. Welcome, Dodo. Welcome to the stream. Oh man, how y'all doing this? Uh, let's see. Hold on. I gotta check. This semi-overcast, beautiful Saturday morning. Also, if anyone's curious, I've just been editing uh, the Discord chapter. It's been fun. Yes, it is morning over here. It's like 10. I know for a lot of other folks it's much later in the day, but here, it's still morning because it hasn't reached noon yet. It's 1700s. What's that in civilian time? That is 5? 5 at night? Okay, yeah, it's a bit late over there. Oh, no wonder. Like whenever I was doing late streams, it was hard for y'all to join in on. It was like probably like 1 in the morning for y'all. It's noon in the non-canon time zone. I 100% agree with you, Desk. It is absolutely noon in the non-canon time zone. In Dragon Quest III, a mission literally forces you to take the crown slash throne of a king who wouldn't take no for an answer. Then you had to track the former king down. Oh my gosh. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, I'm going to try and be more consistent with streaming, though I'm only going to promise 2 streams a month because any more and then it'll be unfeasible. Not due to burnout or anything, but because I work every other Saturday, at least in summertime. In summertime when the weather is fine. I've had a headache for 2 days now, plus a fever. If you try and sacrifice me, I will infect the entire server. Please do not infect the entire server. We don't know how changelings deal with the common cold yet. More consistent. Well, you're using a lot of that press press X to doubt GIF. You're making lots of use of that this weekend, aren't you? Desk. First, it was with V about whether or not he was just a man, when we all know he's a horse. Probably a bug horse. A sacrifice we were willing to make. I'm sorry, Desk, but the server has spoken. You are being sacrificed. The GIF is applicable. Yeah, 100% applicable in many situations, including at work. I use it so much at work. I mean, I wish I could use it at work, especially when talking to certain customers, where I was like, "Oh, sorry, I've been cleaning all week to get your house," and I'm just like, "Oh, highly doubt that." Or if you are telling the truth, gosh, why did you let it get that bad? Idle with the personality of Shaggy from Scooby Doo. I feel like if he had that kind of attitude, he'd be less idle. Because one of the features of an idol is that he is very strict in his manner. He is very precise in his mannerisms. Whereas Shaggy is not. It could be funny. It definitely could be funny. But it's straying less away from the I. It's straying less and less from idol. You can't sacrifice who has already been sacrificed. I mean, we did agree that Pensive would be sacrificed every single time I stream, so I didn't make the rules. I just was streamed because I was summoned. So who knows who originally made the deal? Uh, but yeah, no, like Shaggy. Idol has Shaggy's personality. Idol having Shaggy's personality. No idea. I think it might be really funny though. Although I don't. If Idol was a hippie, like like Shaggy was, what kind of hippie would he be? Oh man, you're giving me so many thoughts today, and I don't know why, but my coffee hasn't kicked in either. So, or maybe it's just too tired. Culticidal. Attention members, please stop dying of old age before you can be sacrificed. It's becoming a real problem. Thank you. That's like Cult of Lamb kind of stuff, and I would love to see that kind of deal. Irrelevant, Drake is allergic to hippies, so hippie idol cannot exist. Gosh, it's so funny when you run into certain people who call themselves hippies and then actual hippies. And funny enough, as I was just watching last night I was watching Avatar: The Last Airbender. It was the Cave of Two Lovers episode, so just seeing those hippie dudes. Secret tunnel, secret tunnel, secret tunnel. I took the joke from a picture of Cult of Lamb. Yeah, it. I was like, that is definitely something that would be said in Cult of Lamb. Especially that like little mini animated series that one dude did ages ago. I can't remember the name of the artist. I feel so bad that I can't remember because it's I only saw it in shorts and thought it was so funny. I just need to find it. Through the mountains. Oh, gosh, Avatar: Last Airbender, such a good one. Did y'all hear that they're like doing another series? Like not a live action series, I don't think. I think they're actually doing another like another sequel trilogy to Avatar. So it's, but I haven't seen anything about it. I've seen thumbnails of people reacting to like the news and whatnot. You never you should. It's like it's so good. Gosh, I have successfully coughed on two people. It shall spread. Actually reminds me of this one Flash game that I remember playing like back in elementary school. And I think it was on Miniclip where yeah, you got to choose a person to infect and they would count down and they would infect other people and then your goal was to infect the entire room wherever you were. And each person that you infected had like pros or cons. Like if you infected the elderly, it would infect a lot of people, but they don't really interact much. Uh, or they would have a huge infection spread, but don't interact with too many people, so it's not as effective. Or you could infect a child, and they interact with a lot of people, but it takes a long countdown for them to infect someone. It was or for them to sneeze and spread the infection. It was a very interesting puzzle game, and I always went for infecting the elderly because they only had a 3 second countdown timer. So I could more accurately choose when they were going to sneeze to get the most effective coverage for everyone, and then just hit from there. And most of the time, I would lose because one person didn't get sneezed on, and there was and then because once someone sneezed, like they stopped moving and they stopped infecting people. So it's like, no. The only Avatar I've seen was the Blue Aliens one. I mean, that's a good one, but you can't. It's no Last Airbender, and I haven't seen the Way of Water yet. I heard it's pretty good. I heard it's pretty good, but isn't Blue Monkey Avatar? Isn't that just like the Pocahontas story? Or what's the plot that takes the most out of? My most recent movie watch was Sonic 3. And I heard it's super good. I want to watch it myself, but I haven't seen the first two yet. So when a bunch of local friend groups were saying, "Oh, let's go watch it," I'm like, I should probably watch the first couple because I accidentally made that decision when I was watching Dune because I watched Dune Part 2 without ever reading the book or watching Part 1. I was so lost for the majority of the movie. Good movie, but no idea what was happening through most of it. Dances with Wolves, Pocahontas, any white savior movie, take your pick. I still need to watch the rest of Dances with Wolves. What's really funny about Dances with Wolves and my inability to finish watching it is that when I was watching it, it was the only time I've ever tried to watch it was on a cross country road trip. It was it was me and my parent, and we were traveling cross country, and all we had was this little rinky dink like media player, and we would watch Dances with Wolves in like the tent at night, and then right around when the buffalo herd came and he went to tell everyone, it would die, and then we're like, okay, we'll just watch it later. We'll just watch the rest of it later. And then, for whatever reason, anytime we started back up from the beginning. So I've seen like the first part of that movie like 2 or 3 times, but I've never seen the last part of the movie. It It's a weird thing. I love movies. I love watching stuff, but it takes so much for me to want to watch something that the majority of the time I just end up not. And like I think I might even have at least the first two Sonic movies from like my siblings. I haven't watched that yet either. Although I do have a bunch of new anime series from one of some of my local friends here, such as let me pull it up so I can or yeah. Let's see where'd it go? Oh yeah, you're over here now. Don't mess with the windows. Sonic 3 has an early credit scene and a post credit scene. Yeah, I remember staying and watching like the the post credit scene, the mid credit scene, and the post credit scene of like Marvel movies and whatnot. Ancient Book of Years, Undead Unluck, Bo 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 Bo. No, let's see, Bo 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 Bo. This is an actual name of an anime. No idea why, and just most people call it Bo Bo Bo. Apparently. Uh, apparently, like the precursor for Power Rangers as well. Himitsu Sentai Goranger, something like that. I don't watch animes at all, much to Desk's chagrin, because that's all they watch. Or at least I assume from all the talks that we've had, they watch Sonic and or they read Sonic comics and Gringer was the first Sentai stories. I've been watching an anime where the Red Power Ranger gets isekai'd. Oh, my brother was just talking about that one uh, yesterday, and it sounds interesting. Don't know if I'll get into it. I still need to finish watching the rest of Castlevania because I've watched the first two seasons because that was the only seasons that were available. And then and then once I reached the end of it, I'm like, "Oh man, I hope they do more of it." And then I heard that they released more seasons. And I'm like, "Oh, I can't wait to watch it." And then I haven't gone and watched it because like I said, it's really hard for me to start watching things. The people who make it know they understood the assignment perfectly. Hey, good for them. Good for them. Oh, I also got Arcane now. So, yippee! Oh, and a classic from my childhood. I haven't watched it since I was like 8, but Final Fantasy VII Advent Children. I remember watching this as a kid, and I don't remember much of it other than I remember my brother watching it on his PSP as well as one of the bad guys after like doing this big bad talk like his phone starts ringing and it's the battle victory theme of Final Fantasy VII, so it just starts going and then he has to like turn away and has to answer it, and it's so corny. That's the only part of this entire movie I remember. Dr. Sona's getting good. I heard Dr. Sona's pretty good. The only reason I know anything about Dr. Stone was because Film Theory covered it like 3 or 4 years ago. And even back then, I was like, "Ooh, this looks interesting to watch." But again, I don't watch TV that much. Also, welcome back, Farfella. We're delving into animes now. Fix my audio issues. Let's go. Why is there so much dog hair on my microphone? We don't even have a dog. I don't know what happens anymore. And but I've been adding just so many movies and TV shows to this thing. And it's been great. But yeah, y'all probably want me to either go on, start reading it, or edit. I'll let I'll let y'all choose. I mean, you could also distract me. This is always an option. Yes, Seth, we do occasionally read on these streams. It hasn't happened in like a year, but it does. Just had an idea that I'm surprised no one else suggested. Ooh, I'm very curious. Idol was someone who got isekai'd and reborn as a ling. Yeah, there has been, uh, not with Idol specifically, but there has been people being isekai'd and then reborn as a changeling. Funny enough, that was one of the first changeling stories I ever read. It was called The Betrayed. And it ended on kind of a cliffhanger and whatnot, but it was really good from what I remember. I need to go back and read it and reread it because it wasn't just a ling; it was a special. It was an albino changeling, which is kind of like a throwback of the species because uh, they didn't evolve with a because in that head canon, uh, there's a the transformation sequence is actually fairly painful, and modern changelings have a basically a sac in their bodies to a natural anesthetic so that they don't have to worry about the pains, but albinos don't have that. And they also feed off of magic instead of emotions. Did you see the scenario I did in the Discord about an Oracle idol? Oh yeah, I even commented on it. Well, I commented on Farf. I think it was Farfella commenting on it. Because like I feel like Idol wouldn't have been blind until he was an Oracle, and he's only blind because not because being an Oracle made him blind, but because only a proper Oracle is blind. So it's his magic self reinforcing that idea of, well, he must be blind because all Oracles are blind. It might have not been you, but it might have been someone else. I have to find where that is. Um, I know I posted it. Yeah. Oh nope. Sorry, it wasn't you, Farfella. It was Chaos. But yeah, Idol just becoming so committed to a bit, he actually just becomes blind because of his magic wants to self reinforce something to the point where the only way he would not become blind is to either not be an oracle or believe that well he needs to see as an oracle. Oh yep. We're getting Dingaling back in the chat. In my head, all oracles are blind, and it's the price they pay for having the sight. I mean, that is the classic trope for oracles: is that they're blind. Although I just like the idea of Idol's the only oracle that's blind because you call him the third oracle. All the other oracles had their sights, but the classic stories of the all-powerful oracle, the all-powerful true oracle that was blinded in order to receive the sight. And it's just like, well, all oracles must be blind then. and just and it's just kind of like a combination of like, oh, you have this mysterious all-powerful oracle and he's just a chill dude. That's like such Percy Jackson vibes uh uh with it. Also, I need to read the newest series of Percy Jackson. I heard it's not great, but it is more of the world setting. So I could probably want to read it actually. Or it's the weakest of the three series. I posted an image of VJ's shit post and out of context quotes. Wait, we have an out of context quote section? Since when? And he casually sets things up so a nerd Chrysalis becomes best friends with Cadence. Oh, 100%. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen this channel before. Oh, it was hmm. I think I muted that channel ages ago because I just kept getting pinged for it. Casually missing the out of quote out of context quotes channels for years. Hey, I there's a lot of channels that I mute in a lot of servers. Maybe I'll unmute out of context now. Shame for 1,000 years. Dishonor on the whole family. Take a note of this. Dishonor on you. Dishonor on your cow. Nah. You tend to mute memes and politics. Oh, you've missed some great art that we've done. Also, politics. You don't need to mute politics because politics in this server is a read-only channel. uh, and then for memes, like there's a lot of stuff in memes that like videos and whatnot, like they're probably really funny. I just don't have a lot of time to watch videos like that. I do post some good art. 5 generations of shame. Well, luckily for future generations, the bloodline ends with me. Also, I feel like the GIF I posted in memes is how Topaz would react to a tiny bad idol. Or something similar. You'll note that there are no posts. Exactly. Like, it's. I just love that he just memes on that channel. Yeah, let's see. Did I mute any other channels? Oh, yeah. The Warframe channel, because I don't really play Warframe, so I don't understand it. And dice rolls because it was really active when I first joined, and I'm like, I why I don't need to roll dice. I have physical dice. The postless channel. Yes, exactly. Despite it being open, nobody has spoken. Oh, 100%. But, but yeah, I've been behind on all my promises to y'all that this year I'll post more than a single video. And it's gotten so bad, I actually got a comment the other day saying, let me see if, let me find the exact comment. uh, it was, I really hope you guys continue. So I'm like, oh no, I'm slowly falling into the category of permanent hiatus because I just don't post anything anymore. I know, I have no idea how people are still subscribing to me despite me not uploading anything. Like, oh my gosh, when was the last video I even. So I posted. I haven't even posted anything in like 6 months. It's gotten so bad. And you could even view how bad my posting history has been by just seeing how many chapters are in between like all the Christmas episodes. Except for now because we haven't made a Christmas episode in a minute. But gosh, it got really bad for a long while. But now I am making permanent strides, maybe knock on wood, hopefully, fingers crossed behind my back because I'm not lying for sure. And to making great strides. We have a yeah, we didn't make a Christmas episode last year because both me and Des couldn't think of a song to do for a Christmas episode. But funny enough, there was I was going through my notes and there are a couple of songs in here that we could use because we have Here We Come a Carolyn, Most Wonderful Time of Year, Jingle Bells, Sleigh Ride, and Winter Wonderland. We haven't done any of those, which I'm honestly surprised by. Because although honestly, I feel like Winter Wonderland uh, would be more along the lines of that would be Topazing Winter Wonderland and Idol just being like, can we please just come in from the cold now? Oh yeah, but yeah, I saw all the posts about Oracle Idol just because I don't ever talk in the server doesn't mean I'm not a professional level lurker in the server. That there's a reason why the majority of my friends have labeled me as Ghost Pone because I am there in spirit. Hardly there at all. V, welcome to the stream. I didn't see there was a stream. No. Luckily, we still got over an hour left, so. Another professional lurker. Hey, I take my lurking seriously. Oh, did we ever figure out a main style for bold? I don't think we ever did. Gosh, I really want to make plushies now of the entire of Idol in the squad. But I just need more things. Like, I want to try and find like a pony generator that's still working and send it to VP like, please, I need colors. Well, if we had an idol who was a ghost, he, I feel like idol as a ghost, he would think it would be absurd, but never realize he was in fact quite dead. It would honestly be his his dream because everything's going the way it's supposed to, and he just blends right into the background like a proper changeling. Maybe even haunts his life size statue that we always joke about. Nothing will stop him from going to work. That is true. Man, just imagine a haunted set of armor. And he's now kind of on the night shift. So it's just an enchanted piece of armor that's wandering around the halls at night. Idol gets isekai'd into his past self. If I could do it again, I did. Oh man, like imagine how different the story would be if Idol started back from the beginning. Maybe he would. One of the major things would probably be he would leave the sock off the door. Though he'd probably still go for cleaning the Discord statue as much as he did. I'm only bringing up the Discord cleaning statue situation because I was just editing that chapter before streaming. Not even halfway done with it. This is why I don't edit chapters anymore. It takes so long. It's only because I'm a perfectionist. V knows, uh, V knows the struggle as well as I do. He'd do all the same things. He'd just try and do them a little better. Yeah, probably. He'd also probably make. He'd probably also be able to barter a little better about like his pottery as well, because you know, money doesn't really. He doesn't really understand money. While Idle lines up in a magic accent and winds up to quantum leaping. Oh my gosh, I haven't thought of quantum leap in ages. Except for when Des brought up quantum leaping in the server a few weeks ago. Just imagine Idol being every major historical figure just trying to. He's secretly Stars World the Bearded. He'd take occasional days off to prevent promotion. Oh my gosh, he 100% would. Some of his mistakes lead to his happiest memories. Oh, 100%. Though I bet if he would go in now, he would be more likely uh, uh, to find a way to thwart the wedding, or at least do it in the way where his limbs don't melt. Like, obviously, he should take more days off and be more circumspect about feeding the exiles. But Topaz found the reveal hilarious. Can he really take that from her? Yeah, that's true. That is fair. Do we know much about what Princess Platinum did? Uh, Other than it would be funny for Idol to be. Uh, ooh, Idol being quantum leaped into Princess Amore. That's Amore. Maybe send her child to the future? I don't know. Idol would be very cautious about changing anything in the events with Chrysalis. Nobody really suffered except for him. That's acceptable. I mean, Cadence suffered. I mean, she did get knocked out quite hard, and then emotional suffering as well. Not to mention Shining. Like, there was quite a few. There was quite a bit of suffering from all sides. I mean, physical trauma. That was like 99.9% him. Emotional trauma. Most everyone. Yeah, and Shining got the mind whammied. Yeah, so there's a lot of mental. The alternative might have been Katie dying, and that's a horrible end result. I mean, that is fair. But he doesn't know what events could lead to that. So if he just never left Katie's side, he like even in the worst possible case, if he never left Katie's side, then he could just still go fire Alicorn, melt a little bit, and whatnot. Yeah, he may die, but that's a sacrifice he's willing to make. He thought he was going to die the first time, if it wasn't for Chrysalis saying, "No, you're mine," and whatnot. So there's lots of ways to go about the whole thing. Yeah, no. What he would do is put a note on the outside of his gel cell and say, "I know this is unlocked. Please don't try and break me out." No solicitors, do-gooders, or attempted jailbreakers. Oh, I know. I haven't read the chapter in a while, so I'm gonna have to practice before I get there. Full appears before Idle and says, "Hi, Mom," confusing him. It's later revealed she's daughter from the future. Somehow he's her mom and Topaz her dad. Oh, so just like alternative canon, or caught in some Ponyville shenanigans. The Chibi Yusa thing? Ponyville shenanigans, definitely. That 100%. Idle. Idle. When I said you do the crime, you do the time, I did not mean time travel. Oh, yes, 100%. My crime was jaywalking, travel crimes made travel times. That no, from is a Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask's daughter from the future. Oh, okay. So, fun fact: there is a pretty blatant Sailor Moon reference in the Bridge, a uh, Godzilla MLP crossover, which is a story I've talked about on here many times. And they usually do it on the April Fool's update chapter. And one of them is uh, Pony Gojo takes takes Chibi Moon under his hoof to try and teach her to control her power. I did not pick up it was a Sailor Moon or Tuxedo Mask ripoff in or parody until it was blatantly obvious it was a Sailor Moon Tuxedo Mask parody. I don't think Topaz has that preference. Uh, her preference is that she likes to live dangerously, and she's kind of turned on by by dangerous things. Like we all saw how she's like, oh yeah, it's like being massaged with knives when talking about a griffin preening her. No, Honeydew is turned on by stallions in maid outfits. I didn't know you were into this. I didn't know I was into this. It basically just stands around, throws one liners, and leaves. 100%. Her preference is bugs. Gosh, Man, there's so many things. There, there's a lot of things I I love about the Idol canon, including just all the spin-offs of Idol. The Horror of a Magical Girl. Honeydew goes to Napone, finds a maid boy cafe, and has to be dragged out of the country. Yeah, 100%. Oh yeah, there is that meme about like Tuxedo Mask, and it's like Celestia and Luna. It's like, with that, my job is done, and Twilight's like, but you haven't done anything. So long, as Celestia whips the cape across the screen. Yeah, it's been a while since we caught up with Honeydew and the rest of the Idol squad. Or, yeah, Idol squad. My guess, they're going to be coming to the Empire in the future. They're part of the reinforcements. Because, it just only be perfect. Only thing better is if uh, trying to establish trade routes, Zamer makes an appearance, trying to be the first one to establish a trade route between the Crystal Empire and Equestria. The chat window and stream is stuck. No, it's fine. No, it's just delayed a couple of seconds. Her type seems to be everything and anything. Somehow, some way, Idol owes someone a favor and winds up working at a maid cafe. I mean, we did have at one point where Idol works undercover at a strip club. Yeah, Topaz would be amused. Not nosebleed territory because he would need to be in his Adonis form wearing the maid outfit. But she could ask for him to do that anytime she pleases. When was that? Oh, it was in one of the many, many side stories that we talked about Idol going undercover. I think it was Roaming Hooves. It was his undercover identity. But yeah, it's just one of the many spin-offs that the servers come up with. One thing of note, Toba has never asked Idol to assume other form for anything but research purposes. I mean, fair. Like, uh, because yeah, it's just like do the thing, and like of course he would do it for her, but you know, she likes Idol, Idol the pony and Idol the changeling, but you know he doesn't believe that yet. Hopefully, hopefully he'll believe it soon. Exactly, Seth. Exactly. But yeah, let me see if I can find some of the suggestions if because like the strip club undercover story was pretty funny as well because it would be Idol going undercover as a uh not and he would be a guard stripper. She's always kept her interest or proclivities to herself, and her interest in him has been emotional more than physical. And only very recently has she unlocked the physical route. Got 100%. I was about to say you got 100% that route for the true ending. Nerd, you will love it. I do. Like it's so cute. I can't wait. I can't wait for so many things. Undercover. Where is it? Oh yeah, and the strip club is called the Plow. I forgot about I forgot about most of this side story. Oh my gosh. There's so many. There are so many. Hold on. Let me let me see if I can link you to it. Hold on. Reply. Ooh, don't turn off. Uh, far. There we go. There you go, far fella. Oh, it was in the Oh, it was in the writer's corner. I haven't been in the writer's corner in ages. Oh my gosh, I haven't been most of the server in ages. Oh man, the siblings to lovers trope. Interesting. Though I feel like Idol getting kicked out that early I feel like Idol wouldn't get kicked out that early in his age. The only reason Nymph got is out this early was because she was basically smuggled out. Pure sibling relationship. I mean, they sometimes have a sibling relationship energy, but he mostly has that sibling relationship energy with Cadence and Shining more than Topaz. And I know it's in this canon, but still. Oh, hold on. Let me save this one like 3 times so I know that it's gonna actually work. Now, which chapter was I reading through again? It could have happened. Topaz would have been a very different pony. Oh, 100%. No problem. No problem at all, Farfalla. And there was more because this was just the first like inkling of all. Not the first. It was one of the summed up inklings. This is why I am top tier lurker in this server because I just watch all of this crazy stuff and sometimes I comment on it. Most of the time, not. Though. Let me. Uh, where was I again? Oh, right. Let me open that. Actually, no, not open that. I gotta open. Go there. That. Changeling. And that. And then. But yes, I have lived. Uh, you could either say I live or I live as my as my title. I like it. It's kind of clever. Uh, I'll be back. You gotta read up on all the undercover idol short stories. But gosh, yeah, Doll and Fort Nowhere are among the more popular ones, but there are just some of them that I'm like, oh, that's such a clever idea. I hope it like comes out more. But I think the most long-lasting version of that alternative canon was, uh, or of that side story was Idol's nemesis. Of being another changeling. And that's why he's undercover at the plow in the first place, because he has to try and find it before he strikes again. Da da da. Looking Glass would be a fun villain. I was like, what is it called again? I'm like, it's something glass. I was like, Shattered Glass? No. Uh, no, that's just Desk infecting me with Shattered Skies imagery. But oh, Looking Glass would be so much fun. Especially when you do the classic, especially if you ever have to do the classic team up between Idol and Looking Glass to take down an even bigger threat because the whole enemy of my enemy shtick. Or the even more classic of fine, I'll look the other way just this once, or I'll give you a head start. I don't think I would ever give him a head start, but it would be honestly. I feel like their villain, Looking Glass, would either be a absolutely tyrannical villain, or he would be one, or he would be kind of like Ada from the Resident Evil series, where she's kind of villainous, but most of the time she whenever she's shows up, she's somewhat helpful. Or maybe a foes to friend kind of trope. That's always a fun one to have. Gosh, I realize I haven't even started on Aftermath. Oh, that's right. I had to erase the whole thing because my audio was weird with it. No. Oh man. I thought I was ahead by a chapter. No, I'm editing the only chapter I have in the backlog right now. It's been half a year and I have done Jack. Oh yeah, but glad you could make it, V. Kind of a shame Karma couldn't make it, or at least maybe they're running into the same issue where they don't have Discord open either. Or they're busy. I meant to post about this last night, but then I don't know, at like 7:30 last night, I was so tired I passed out and then I didn't wake up until 4, which, kudos on me getting a full night's sleep and not, but at the same time not completely destroying my sleep schedule. On the other hand, whew, Idle winds up trying to play the part of a villain instead of a guard and utterly fails at it, keeps saving the day over and over again. Just Idle going complete Megamind. That would be fun. That would be super fun. I wonder who would be the villain that takes in Idle at a young impressionable age to make him become a villain. Idle plays the evil overlord who just happens to highlight all the little injustices in Equestria so they get resolved. Honestly, that's what Idle would play as. That is 100% what Idle would do, is just a you claim me to be the villain when you live in this society? An AU Cozy Glow who was born earlier. I Yeah, she'd have to be born way earlier. Like maybe AU, like maybe Sunset. Yeah, Sunset after failing or after running away from Celestia, or Starlight Glimmer, because there's so many cool things. I feel like it might be Starlight Glimmer, uh, more than anything because she's the one that was like all upset about like tiny injustices, but it was mostly because she was sad her friend didn't write to her. Because honestly, Sunburst, like I know you were sad that you kind of flunked at, like, was it confirmed that he flunked out of school for gifted unicorns? Because I know he said he didn't do well, but I don't know if he ever said that he kind of flunked out. Because he did well enough for himself that he was able to move to a whole different city and hole up as the as the crazy wizard guy who's not actually a wizard. Oh yeah, oh yeah, the captain from the pirate movie, or not the pirate movie, from the G4 movie. I mean, I could definitely see her. Da 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 da, ba da da da, ba da 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 da. Yeah, Solano, like Captain Solano. I couldn't remember her name. I was like, it's not cilantro, but that's the only word that's coming to mind. I'm so glad it was as close as it was, given I think I've only heard the name once. Wanted to do a mini-fic about Idol attempts to arrest Sunset after she steals the element of harmony. Yes, oh, 100%. I think he was just a magic enthusiast who couldn't focus on like the math of magic. No, I think what happened, like, if I'm remembering right, and it might not be right because I haven't seen that episode in years, but I think what happened was that he was gifted naturally at like learning the spells. He just didn't have any power to back up the spells. So he was a magical encyclopedia, but he couldn't use it. You know, talking about Solano just reminds me of this writing prompt I remember reading a few days ago, where um, this this captain was cursed to die in 7 years if and the only way to break the curse was give his to give his heart to someone without expecting anything in return. Uh, his whole heart to someone without an expectation of anything in return, but instead of a sappy love story where he tries to go and find true love or anything like that, they're just like fuck it, and then storms the high seas with his crew, treats the crew well, and then to the point where while he's on his deathbed, surrounded by the crew, the curse is broken because he gave his whole heart to his ship and his crew, expecting nothing in return, and they gave him his all. Twilight got the whole package. Sunburst got half of it. Yeah, Twilight was a little powerhouse, wasn't she? Sevaduda was a gal. It was probably the same thing. Like most of those writing prompts have just some people paste them all over the place. So maybe it was a gal, maybe it was a guy. I can't remember. It was a few days ago. And honestly, if that was ever a movie, I would totally be into watching it. Just a fun pirates movie. We haven't had a really fun pirates movie since like Pirates 3, and most people and a lot of people would even say not since Pirates 1. also with funny thing that will be cursed knowledge as soon as you hear it. We pronounce Caribbean two ways. If we're talking about the islands, it's the Caribbean. If we're talking about the movies, it's the Caribbean. Because we definitely don't say Pirates of the Caribbean, do we? Idol raised by the parrot pirates is not a bad idea. And maybe uh he went to do his well, would he be there uh during the events of the G4 movie? Honestly, I feel like he might, and he'd be the quartermaster. Because that feels like such an idle position for him to fill, is just being the quartermaster. Ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-da-da-da-da. I need to watch that movie again. I remember loving the G5 movie more than the G4 movie. I remember the G4 movie being pretty good, all things considered. Poor Fluttershy, only getting in one line, one word in the entire film, and then people memeing on it for like a week after it came out. Yeah, what but this group is different than the Cannon Pirates? That they are working to take apart Storm King from the inside? Well, the only way Idol would be able to take down Storm King from the inside is that, like, because they're just transportation, that they're shippers, and not that kind, but for the Storm King, for the Storm King's rebrand. So really, the only thing that would make them actually high up in the organization enough to actually do much damage would be if, I don't know, Idol tried to uh, or if they tried to be higher in the hierarchy, like taken under Tempest's wing, and you'd get Idol as the sidekick rather than Grubber. But then I feel like Tempest at that point wouldn't choose Idol because he's too competent, which makes them easily overlooked. True, but there's not much you can damage just from transporting merchandise, because it's not like they're hauling weapons or like anything actually useful for it in the invasion. They are literally just hauling merchandise. They're selling the artist alley. They could secretly sabotage things here and there, drop a few subtle words here and there. I mean, true, we don't know how big the fleet is. The Storm King decides to burn her ship, so Idol has to work for him to afford his master being able to buy a new ship. I could see that for sure. Idol works for him, but obviously hates him, whereas Tempest is more of a true believer. Yeah, honestly, a lot of anything to get uh, Grubber out. Like Grubber could have worked. They just made him too. They they like Grubber could have worked, but in a movie that had way too many comic reliefs to begin with, they added in a very annoying comic relief. But whereas Tempest turns when Twilight convinces her, ooh, Idol just fight, but fight. Idol's loyalty is bought, and he is willing to accept that he too must be defeated as his duty. Idol the mercenary. Oh, that's a fun one. Though I will say, Idol being a mercenary would be so much fun. Actually, reminds me of this one scene from the story. I think it's My Life as a Bipedal Quadruped, is I think what the story is called. And at one point, they travel to the Mirror Equestria, where Sombra's a good king and whatnot. And so they're facing off against Zakor. Zakor is an absolute badass. And then but then they'd like destroy the airship that they're on, and Zakora just like nopes on out of there because it's like, looks like you don't have the funds to pay me anymore, and just jumps off the ship and is probably going to be okay. We never hear from her again. She was there to be badass, challenge the main hero, and then as soon as the money disappeared, she was like, "You're not paying me. I'm out of here. I'm not fighting your fight anymore." We don't have to fight. Yes, we do, and for that I am sorry. Goodbye. I was paid in advance. Oh my gosh. Like, how much in advance would the Storm King have to pay Idol? Like, if he paid him like a week's advance, he hates the Storm King enough, he just might be like, well, my loyalty is with him at least until next week. I already read your comment. Would somehow accidentally restore Tempest's horn, but I kind of like the idea of Tempest's horn not being restored. Like there are a lot of stories where her horn is restored, but most of the time when they do it, it glosses over like the whole tragedy. Like that just fixes all the scars, whereas the her whole story arc was her accepting the differences. The problem is Storm King is winning today. You can't put it off. He could be out, but his orders honors just don't allow it. Oh, yeah, fair. Fair enough. Gotta admit though, it's something that could happen to an idol. It could possibly happen to an idol, but if we're talking about mercenary idol, it would be less likely to happen, especially with a Tempest that wants to uh, reveal that like the whole friendship is magic after all kind of deal. The whole now we fix everything, and then they hit the reset button on Canterlot. Anyone else would fail. Well, like I mean, it would be cool to see, um, to see Tempest a with like what basically looks like a changeling horn prosthetic. That would be sick. But and drive many a doctor to think, how the hell did you fix her horn? It's impossible. Oh man, idol versus the medical field, which usually usually happens. I mean, it happened with his dentist uh, already. If he goes into a regular checkup and they're just like, oh no, it also happened with a physical doctor because it's just like you can't just graft on hooves like that. It's not possible. Oh no, it happened with Matismo too. So mental, physical, and dental health, he's traumatized them all. And made them question their whole practice. Uh yeah, it definitely might happen to Idol, but you would have to be a biomancer, and right now only the Queen is would be enough to do it. But I could totally imagine Idol, like his orders and honors wouldn't allow it, but depending on how much in advance the Storm King paid him, the Storm King might have accidentally like released him from his duty because of how much he was flipping through the day and night cycle. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, day, night, sunrise, sunset. Like how many like at least a week or two went by with the Storm King messing around with the sun and the moon. Also, I love how the Staff of Sarkonis was just like, oh, it's this mythical thing that you need all four alicorns to make work. And what it does is the same thing it takes exactly one alicorn to do to work. I mean, it's supposed to be all powerful, but it's like, oh, 100 armies and all this nonsense. And oh man, I honestly, I this is just makes me wish that Storm King was a better villain. Like, like he, because this is why I have an issue with Grubber honestly as well, because Grubber was a comic relief when you didn't need a comic relief, because the ponies themselves, especially Pinkie Pie, was thrown into comic relief status as well as the Storm King was thrown into comic relief status, and the true villain was Tempest. All he had to do was be just a little bit more threatening and whatnot, and then ah, if he wasn't thrown into comic relief status, it would have made the movie so much cooler. And him just honoring his agreement with Tempest rather than saying, I used you. It's kind of what I do. We have no idea what this guy does. But he would have won if only he honored the agreement. But having Tempest make a choice between getting what she wanted to all her life and just the littlest gift of friendship given, gosh, that would have been so much more powerful. Just a dick with power, 100%. Welcome back, Farfella. Storm King was wasted potential. Yeah, because like there's a reason why everyone remembers Tempest or Fizzlepop Berry Twist, but like people know the memes of the Storm King, but they wouldn't ever call him a villain. And like the whole thing is like because it was actually part of I was listening to Overly Sarcastic Productions on like trope talks, as more specifically about the right hand man a trope, and the whole thing about the right hand man trope is that the right hand man has to not be more powerful than the main villain, or else why wouldn't they be the main villain? Or else if they are more powerful than the main villain, why do they have the loyalty that they do? I've been reading a story where a guy is isekai'd into Equestria as Storm King and is doing a far better job as being Storm King. And you get to turn to stone. And you, stone. No. Yeah, honestly. This is why, like, it's one of the reasons why I like a lot of fan works over like the canon show, because the show itself brings a lot of interesting concepts to the front, but they're always limited in their scope because of not only their rating but like corporate and all that bullcrap. Whereas fanfic writers can do whatever they want with it, and it makes it such a cool story. Actually, the guy being a tough but fair boss and loved by the places he annexes, that would be an interesting thing to be like, to just be like, yeah, I mean, yeah, sometimes he's hard on taxes when no one does. When he's ignored, he's ruthless. But yeah, other than that, he's a great dude. Also, like, what is Clutch Town? Like, honestly, because we haven't seen it before or since. We know it's somewhere southish, but you can't really say the Badlands because that's kind of where the dragons slash changelings are. And you didn't see any of them, so it's like, what? Huh? Why? A town that's Cludge. Should have called it Bodge Town because it seems to be all bodged together. A very good bodge. He's taking over places, but he's doing it by earning their loyalty. Yeah, it might be interesting because like the only place he knows that he has to like actually invade is Equestria because they're the ones with all the power, and he gets the Staff of Sarkonis and whatnot so that he can be powerful overlord too. But like every other place seems to be doing absolutely terrible in comparison to Equestria. Like maybe the Dragonlands are doing all right for themselves, but Griffinstone's in ruins. The Changeling Hive also looks to be in ruins. Cludgetown. Gosh, what happened to Cludgetown? So we can only assume that like it's just only Equestria that's prosperous at right now, and of course their puppet state of the Crystal Empire. Or oh yeah, oh wait, you put in recommendations. Nice. Hold on. Oh no, you didn't. Uh, YouTube automatically blocks links. There's no way for me to not block it. Yeah, there. Like I've tried to disable that, but YouTube's like, nope, gonna block all links. Which, fair enough. So if you want to link to stories, you have to do it in the recommendations of the Discord. It started existence in disrepair. Honestly, but like it's so close to the water as well. It should be like a coastal town, not a desert. Like, why is it a desert? Nice. I'll have to add that to my long, long, long to be read later list. Long. But yeah, I also haven't done too much with. I haven't read too many humans in Equestria stories or humans in Equestria slash human turned pony, or isekai stories like that. I haven't read anything like that in ages, and I think it's mostly because like they always had a few. I was getting tired of the tropes that they were always going over. Like some of them were fun, but most of the time it was just like, oh yeah, they come to here, they meet the main six. At some point, there's a spa day with them. Like, it's just like the usual that that happens in most of them, unless you get to the displays that's like trapped in stone for 1,000 years, trapped in stone or similar prisons for 1,000 years, break out with Discord's help probably, or on their own, and do their own little havoc wreaking. So, but then like you get stories like Changeling or Full of the Forest. How I started a Warren children's cartoon. Uh, like they can be a lot more creative with it just because they're not having to constrain themselves to, oh, human and Equestria, I have to make like I have to reference them being human at least a couple of times, or else why am I bothering with a human? Another example is like necromancy for foals. That's a really good one, showing like an the prehistory of Equestria just after Nightmare Moon's fall from the eyes of someone hunted by the state. It's so cool. Love where the second book's going now, but unfortunately it's like on permanent hiatus. Why is all the things I like to read on permanent hiatus? Like this is the one story that's not that's not on hiatus. But even then it only uploads a few times a year. Not knocking you, V. You're doing a lot better than me. But I haven't. I need to find another story with some good meats on the bones. Why you jinxing me? Like I said, I'm not jinxing you. I'm not. No hate to you at all. You keep on writing the story we all love. Yeah, honestly, I have no idea if I'm going to be able to like stream when summer hits because that's the busiest time. It's the most busiest time of the year because I work at pest control. So, whew, it's rough. I thought I got another ping, but yeah, it's all well and fun. Just fun jibes. Honestly, yeah, we haven't had any. Uh, I haven't done that in ages. Sorry, I was just thinking back. Can you tell I have ADHD? I was just thinking back to early on where we had a typo bell. And I think that's where Dingling came from originally, was the typo bell. Honestly, haven't run into one in a while. So, yay! At his former benefactor. Yes, I need to. But yeah, eventually we will get another chapter out. Eventually, I'm aiming for at least two by the end of the year. I'm I'm trying to match at least V's chapter output, if not more. Cersus and Flurryheart napping together under Cadence's wing. All that is pretty cute. Just Cersus and Flurryheart just taking a nap together. And I could even see it as like one of those like time transition where they're flopped against each other as kids, and then as adults they're still in like similar positions, just napping together. Though I feel like all this attention being given to Flurry Heart when we all know Cersus's true heart is with the bat ponies. They are basically sisters. That they I hope that they have like a sibling vibe. Cuz that that was super fun to read in Karma's story, which I still need to finish that story as well. Gosh, so many stories to finish in so little time. But yeah, it's great stuff happening. Lost my train of thought again. Uh, Maybe doing Saturday, early morning Saturday streams was a bad idea. My brain hasn't even fully formed coherent thought anymore. Oh, definitely some days. during the summer, it will definitely be the streams will come at odd hours, let's say. Or not odd hours, it might just come midweek rather than strictly on the weekends. But that's if I want to do a weekly stream. An idol who is a detective? Yeah, we kind of did something similar to that with the whole undercover thing. He was pretty detective-y in that story, a la Sherlock Holmes. Now, I don't think we've done that, but there are a lot of places where it's been, where a lot of side stories have come across, such as Idol seeing this uh, fungus that just completely terrifies him because it's a fungus that is known to like take over changeling hives or to kill changelings and whatnot. And I'm just like, ooh, just like going full bug mode for Idol is just so many fun ideas to like play around with. Also, just like the more buggy things that you can do with Idol, I think the funnier it is. Like that. What's that one oil that smells like death to them? Am I dead? Technically, yes. Thankfully, the cure is a warm bath. Yeah, Idol being a detective, I think it might be. I think that's where Looking Glass would be really fun as a villain. Is if he is a detective, just because uh, like since Looking Glass is also a changeling, he can't really sense those emotions. So his usual tricks that he finds out who done it doesn't work because he can't detect guilt. Although sometimes it's guilt. Although I feel like most of the time it would be like satisfaction or like just someone being two faced in general would catch on. Idol just being, I feel like Idol would be less like Sherlock Holmes and more like Columbo. Just immediately figures out who done it, but just needs to prove it. Idol in the Tolkien setting. Now, what would Idol be in Tolkien? Would he just still be a changeling, or would he be one of the races? If one of the races of Middle Earth, and if so, which one? Because if he was a changeling, that'd be interesting to see them come across this bug horse. Unless we go anthro with him like we did for the My Hero Academia uh, side story. And I also, every time I see the My Hero Academia idol, I'm like, that's so cool. I can't pronounce his name though. Adiru? He's one of the mounts for the ring wraiths. Oh, that would be sick. I could totally see that because they're either riding these demonic horses or they're riding the Nazgûl or they're riding like those winged beasts and whatnot. So changelings being the mounts for the ring wraiths? Totally see that. Although I feel like if he was one of the mounts for the ring wraiths, they would find the hobbits immediately, and the story would come to a close very quickly. or the ring wraiths, their own emotions are overpowering to the point where he can't really sense the hobbits on the side of the road. I don't know. There's so many ways you could play with it. You've been playing Shadow of War. I heard it's super good and super fun, and such a unique like leveling system as well. I haven't played it. I did play War in the North though, and that was super fun. My master asks little of me, save that I convey him where he needs to go, little hobbit. If he asked me to seek you, I would, but he has not, as of yet. Yeah, no, that is definitely what Idle would do. do, do they talk? They more screech at each other in a language that I do not know. It's more like bird cause. So, Sauron has stolen from that. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting, isn't it? Honestly, Idle being the Nazgul mount, or for the Ringwraith mounts, maliciously compliant horse. 100% that's what Idle would be, is maliciously compliant. And let me guess, and he's the mount for the Witch King, and once he's slain, he's like freed or something, and he just fucks off. He just completely says, "All right, I'm out," and flies away. Because we don't see any of the other ring wraiths as soon as the Witch King is killed, do we? I will admit I haven't read the books. I've only watched the movies. So I know is the whole I am no man stabs him in the face. And I'm like, most people would die if you stab them in the face. I do agree with this. I was his favorite, and I swore to serve him forever. Then he became immortal. Then he became an immortal wretch in the service of a dark god. I almost read that as dank god for for a second. He's the dankest of gods, man. Gosh, you always bring up some like banger lines, and I can't think that quickly. I do not have the silver mind or the silver tongue. I definitely would be really useless in Inkart, but I do enjoy reading, so that's half of it, right? Oh, speaking of enjoying reading, gosh, man, the time certainly does fly, doesn't? Time certainly does fly, don't it? I might have to. You have again successfully distracted me for the entirety of it. But I believe I. Oh yeah, I got to head on out because I got places to be in like less than an hour. I completely forgot about them until my my computer's like, "Hey, remember this really important thing that you have to do today?" And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't remember that incredibly important thing that I have to get done today." So I know, no, I know, Pensive, your sacrifice only happened for a 2 hour stream. Don't worry, we'll sacrifice you again soon, and then we can have another stream. Maybe it'll be a stream with an accompanying chapter release. Who knows? Anyways, I shall see y'all later. Yeah. Oh, one final rant of Idle as a lawyer. I feel like Idle would be great at speaking lawyerese, but Idle being a lawyer, I don't think he's. He can think of the loopholes, but he's too honorable to exploit the loopholes. So he could be a lawyer, but in more of a Matt Murdock kind of way. Uh, and I could definitely see him doing the whole Matt Murdock lawyer thing where he's bending the law into his favor. He'll win the case, but for the wrong reasons. Exactly. Yeah, he'll find some I that wasn't dotted or some T that wasn't crossed to gets the whole uh, case dismissed, or just asks, or he throws off the defense in such, or the prosecutor in such a way that it completely throws out like testimony or something like that. So his clients always, it's pretty much a get out of jail free card if you can get Idle. If you get Idle on your side, then you're guaranteed. It'd be really funny. Yeah, that honestly. Yeah, there's so many ways that you could take that because he already speaks lawyerese, and anytime he speaks normally, it just sounds wrong. And even Topaz admits it, saying such things as, "That just sounds wrong coming from you." But anyway, I do have to go now, so I will see y'all later. Thank you for coming out. I promise I will release a chapter soon. but but anyway, thanks again. I'll see you next time. Take care.